Easter Evil, that is what we are talking about today. This one is directed, co-written and starring Jared Masters. It also stars Elizabeth Rath, who is the other co-writer of this movie. And this is a micro-budget, schlocky, sleazy horror comedy. What is the plot? Is there one? Does it even matter? Well, these questions and others will be answered. Well, it focuses on Elizabeth Rath's character, who is some type of go-go dancer in Las Vegas. It looks like it's meant to take place in the 1960s, although it doesn't specifically say that. And she's effectively living out of this kind of hotel room, and she has this friend, played by Jared Masters, who is a kind of drag queen, I guess. And the pair of them kind of sit in their room and discuss life and love and everything like that. In the meantime, there is this kind of killer dressed as an Easter bunny who is killing sex workers. Now, of course, eventually the paths will cross. What will happen? You'll have to watch the movie and find out. So, do you think you would like this movie? Well, let me ask you, are you the sort of person that likes to rub sand in your eyes? Because if the answer is yes, then you may like this movie. In most films, I think, I can normally come up with a few positives and kind of see what the filmmakers were doing here. But every so often, there's a movie that comes along where I really struggle to say anything positive at all about it. I would say this movie is a kind of a joke film, and probably, made as just a little bit of a kind of a gag by the kind of the filmmakers here, not really trying to kind of do an actual proper film here. The vast majority of this screen time is dialogue driven. It's just these two characters just talking in a room. I guess it has a kind of kinky edge, I suppose, if you're really kind of scraping the barrel for a compliment. It's trying to kind of be a B-movie schlocky equivalent of the likes of like Tinto Brass or maybe Russ Myers in regards to its kind of sexual kinkiness, I suppose. Not that it's an explicit film in any way, but it just has that level of somewhat kind of kinkiness to it, I suppose. And yeah, the picture looks alright. It's okay filmed, I guess. But you're going to watch this movie if you just want just a joke, effectively. But is it interesting? No, it's not. It's not interesting, even as a joke. This movie was, thankfully not a long runtime, but even so, it's the vast majority of the runtime, like 80% of this runtime, is these two characters just sitting on the bed talking about, quite frankly, a load of old bollocks. I do not understand why a film like this exists unless it was just made for a joke. There's just nothing to it. It's not clever. I mean, if you're going to make a film like this, it can exist if the writing is clever, if it's kind of like somewhat kind of interesting characters, or kind of like just having a little bit of commentary or metaphor. I don't think this movie has anything like that. I mean, this is kind of, I've said this a few times in reviews. This is like if you watch a low-budget B-movie and there's a sequence where our characters in this B-movie are watching the TV. There's a film on that is, obviously the filmmakers don't have the rights to play a real film, so they just make a scene from some crappy, non-existent film. This is like one of those films that the characters within a movie are watching on TV. It's just absolute crap. It's not interesting. It's just like these two characters talking for the entire movie. They're not interesting. It's not even that funny. Maybe there's a couple of very that's about the best as I can say. It's utter trash. Utter trash. I feel maybe some people will like this kind of, I like it, ironically. Wonderful. But, you gotta look at it objectively, I find. And yeah, if you want to watch just a crappy film, ironically, where nothing really happens and it's just kind of like silly kind of characters doing kind of banal kind of dialogue in a kind of jokey sort of like nondescript fashion where there's not really any plot, then go knock yourself out. This is torture to sit through. torture, and I like B-movies. I like low-budget films. But my God, they do not put out some crap these days. 1 out of 10. I can't give it any higher because there's just nothing to this film. 1 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.